Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, as long as it's all good. Welcome to The House That Happens, sponsored by Shuey's Bar and Grill, the only place to be in suburban Etobicoke, voted 4 times the best dive bar in the GTA, but we'd like to think it's the best dive bar in the country because at the Shuey's Bar and Grill, we keep the vibe alive. Hi, my name is Cruz.
And I'm Andrew Milani.
And this is our playoff preview edition of The House That Happens, where we get to discuss all things hockey, including, can the Toronto Maple Leafs break this insidious curse that's been going on since what year is that?
Oh, 1967.
Oh, I didn't want to get that bad. I was going to give you 2004.
Oh.
Can you just start by winning a playoff series? Can we just win a playoff series?
They can and they will.
Okay, I do believe you have somebody to introduce here. That's going to.
My brother Steven is back. Welcome back, Steven.
Yep, thanks for having me again, guys.
No problem. I'm glad that you're here. So we've got 2 people that were born to vote Liberal and cheer for the Leafs, I believe. Is that what we've established?
Is it?
I don't know. I came here 42 years ago to Toronto, and one of the first things I found out about when I was, if I may say this, and I'm very, very happy, that was the year that Italy won the World Cup.
Yes.
Won the World Cup. And that's when I found out my everything Italian increased exponentially in a good way. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I went up to Little Italy. There was food. Because I grew up in Windsor, which is one of the pizza capitals of Canada, and it's got a good Italian population. But coming here, it was next level. The soccer, the food, all of that. Italia. I loved it. And then I also found out, you guys only cheer for the Leafs. That's the part that got me weird.
Yeah, we're a Leaf household.
No, I bet you are. I could feel the leaves falling down onto the house that happens as we speak. But we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact that Connor McDavid has won the scoring race, correct? And he's won the
both scoring races.
That's what I wanted to bring up, that he won both, which is the first time someone's won both in a number of years, correct?
Yeah, I believe, Ovechkin,
was
like
Ovechkin?
in 2008 or something was the last one.
Yeah.
Was the last, but it's the first time that someone's won the Art Ross and the Rocket Richard, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So if it's, I mean, and that's a regular season thing, but we just want to give a credit where credit is due. And to a great season. But most importantly of all, we want to talk about all the playoff series. Now, even though we are the house that happens and we are Toronto-centric, we want to take a look at all of the playoffs before I get to tear apart everything crazy about the Maple Leafs. Okay, is that good with you guys? Do you know what I'm saying? So last night, I think Colorado now moved into first place, didn't they?
Yeah, they took the Central.
They took the Central. So now they are
the 1 seed there.
The 1 seed there, correct? So I'm just going to say, when we're talking about 1 seeds or whatever the case may be, let's just say that Colorado is going to bitch slap Seattle.
They should.
I don't even think there's a really much conversation about this series.
Colorado's got injury problems, though. That's like they shut down Landeskog for the season.
Yeah.
Makar's been in and out of the lineup lately.
I think the thing that's going to hurt them, not in this round, but down the road, is the subtraction of Kadri.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed, guys?
They're going to be missing him a lot.
That's what I say. That grit, that craziness in the playoffs, you know what I mean? And speaking of Kadri, how many times are we going to see this where a guy hits a guy clean and then another guy goes after him?
Yeah.
What are we saying about that, guys? How is that going to go in the playoffs? Because, Andrew and I, we're going to have to cross this road in this playoff discussion about why is it so much different to hockey in the playoffs as it is there. But we're going to get to that. We'll just talk to me because Steve and I have some issues with that.
All right.
Okay, but we'll get to that anyway. So as we're going to go down, we're going to go through the series. Well, we'll give them a little bit of credence as we do, but I don't really want to talk about Seattle and Colorado because Seattle was Colorado was like that horse on the outside of the track that was down by 3 lengths and got to the straightaway, ran home, took their thing. And I think Seattle's been a bit of a fraud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've had a good season. I'm not going to deny it. I mean, Calgary's not in the playoffs. Vancouver's not in the playoffs. Seattle is.
Yep.
So you got to give them their...
They were carried by that hot start, though.
Oh, agreed.
Exactly, yeah.
Agreed. But I mean, since the All-Star break, they've been nothing to talk about.
No, their defense and goaltending especially just very lackluster.
I mean, even their scoring. What do they do scoring-wise? I don't see them as any great scoring team.
No, but they have like some guys up there, right? It's not like last year it was Barron up at the front, Like they had nobody.
Yeah, you got McCann with 40 goals this year.
That's a good year.
Yeah, solid
year. That's a good year,
They got Eberle, they got Schwartz, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Yanni Gord. They got some guys, but they're all kind of like second line
Second-liners.
guys. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Matty
So-
Beniers, he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah, we got to give him credit. That kid's got a future.
Yeah.
Good looking hockey player.
Oh,
You
yeah.
mentioned him earlier in the year, and I didn't. Yeah, whatever. And then now
He's
it's
a
just
Michigan guy. I
That's
thought
what
you'd
I'm
give-
saying. I should have given him more afterwards. You know what it was, to tell you the truth. I just went, yeah, and then oh yeah, he played for Michigan, and that changed
right.
everything. Oh yeah, I don't say bad things about Michigan on this. How's that?
I'm a Michigan guy as well.
Oh, that's good. I like that. We've got a kindred spirit in the house. But yeah, he's going to be a good hockey
Roll
player.
Buckeyes. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's security move. You know what I mean?
You know Zio's a Buckeyes guy, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because my hate statement usually ends with the Ohio State Buckeyes sometimes. When I hate pedophiles, I hate terrorists, I hate Ohio State Buckeyes. They're right up there at the hate in my books. But, that kid from Michigan, I think he's a good hockey player.
Very
and
good.
I watched some late games, like coming home from work, and because the playoffs were coming, so I was catching some Seattle stuff going on. Kid's a good hockey player. He's got a bright future.
I think the only other guy that could really give him a run for Rookie of the Year is Owen Power on Buffalo. He's starting to get some.
he had a solid year too.
But it took him too long to get going, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I didn't.
that could be the problem.
I'm going down, and guess what? Seattle's in the playoffs, and Buffalo's not.
even though it really shouldn't be about that.
Well, we've had this argument many a times about how we get to MVPs and all that. So I'm not. I'm not going to argue
exactly.
about that there. So,
And
but
Buffalo really just needed a goalie. Let's be real.
100%. Like if they get one in the offseason, they're going to be a threat.
They're in the
next year.
playoffs.
But we won't discuss.
And
them.
I'll tell you before. I'll tell you after who they're going to knock out. So.
Oh, okay. That
I
should be
got some.
interesting.
Yeah.
So we're going to move along after Colorado and Seattle. We're all comprehensively.
How many games? I'm going to say Colorado in 6.
Yeah, 6. Because then you know what they might do. You know what I hate about hockey is they'll get up 3-1 and say don't get hurt and take a game off and come home and win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how hockey. why are you guys laughing? Because you know that's
It's true.
Exactly. That's the way it goes.
But that drives me crazy. You know
Like
what
no
I-
one ever closes out the series their first opportunity. It's like
Just stick the night off.
it's yeah.
Let's bring the wife
I
up.
don't know why that is.
I think it's
but
more so just the other team is so just
Takes two
fired
to-
up and ready to keep their season alive. I don't think it's so much the
Okay,
team
so
closing
they
it out.
get what is that edge works for what 12 hours?
I guess or something like that. It's just like that initial instinct that's we gotta stay alive, gotta keep our season going. They win one, and then after that, the other team kind of wakes up and is like, we gotta finish them off now.
Well,
or else we're
especially
gonna give
since
them
you
life.
beat the team 6-2, 5-1, 7-0, and then you get to that one game and suddenly that team wins 3-2 in overtime.
Yeah, it takes 2 to tango in my book. You know.
Yeah, I agree. But so, anyways, we're all on. Get my secretary here. We're all on Colorado, which I would say would be a monumental upset.
Oh, if Seattle
Oh,
beat
If
them,
Seattle beat them, would not be
the
like-
defending champs.
That's what I'm saying. So
Definitely.
we expect to see Colorado making a run. Now I'm going to wait to that one other series for a second.
Dallas, Minnesota.
Dallas, Minnesota, I think is going to be a very highly entertaining first round. But I've been a bit on the Dallas bandwagon all season.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Steven. So I've been a bit of a Dallas guy. I'm a Tyler Seguin guy, by the way.
All right, yeah.
Okay, but I really like Dallas. I think I like the way they played coming down the road. I'm not. I think they're going to do a lot more than people are going to give them credit for.
Well, I think they're definitely going to take this series,
Oh,
especially
100%.
if the big thing for Minnesota is who's going to start net, right?
Oh, right. Well, who is
If-
it going to be?
If Fleury gets a few starts, I love Fleury, but I think that's going to kill the team.
I think he's past his best before date.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
God bless the guy. And he's got a career playing great in the playoffs. But how old is he now? He's 36, 38?
He's in his late 30s
Yeah.
for sure.
Late 30s,
38, I
and
think.
Miles, lots of.
Oh, he's been playing heavy minutes since
yeah.
his rookie season, since he was 18.
Since he's 18, that's 20 years of this type. I
They should be starting Philip Gustafson in the playoffs, but
I don't think they
Fleury's
trust
got the
him.
big contract. That's even though they should, Gustafson's numbers are way better.
Oh, I think so too, and I think he's part of the reason that they sit up there the way that they do. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm looking at it in I like that the back end on Dallas, like their
Oh,
defense.
I think I've said this
yeah.
before. Their back end is maybe the best in the league, one of the best in the league.
One of the best.
Yeah.
Them in Boston. Is that what you're
Yeah,
getting at? Yeah,
basically.
that's. I mean, and again, do you look at the size of those guys?
Oh, big boys.
Oh, big.
Oh, you know,
boy.
I like Heiskanen. He's
Oh yeah, that's your
like
boy.
him.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why I'm saying about Dallas. Steve, you might not know this, but during the years, I kept throwing that Dallas thing out there. And part of the reason is because of the back end. And every year in the playoffs, when it seems to get to the finals, you look around and go, who's there? And you got a bunch of guys with a bunch of 6-footers.
Oh, yeah.
That have pounded people into the ground for 12 games. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what you need in the playoffs, too.
100%. You know what, though? We're gonna have a discussion because there is a couple small defensemen around. And Makar's not the biggest guy in the world.
No, but he's fast. He's quick.
Shifty as hell. Yeah. Shifty as hell. Great in using a basketball jargon. He's got good handles. Mm-hmm. Very, very, very good handles. So we're all looking at a Dallas win here. I think that Minnesota, if they were happen to win, I think it would definitely be an upset. Would it be a huge upset?
I don't think a huge upset, especially the way Minnesota came down the stretch. They were very hot in the last 20 games.
Yeah. Because remember, we had a show a couple weeks ago where we were talking about, was Minnesota on the borderline? Because remember, they got all messed up there, and they all got scrunched, and then Minnesota just jumped out of that pile and took it home, which bodes well, because teams going hot down the stretch are usually teams that are hot going into the playoffs. But that's not saying that Dallas hasn't been playing bad, because Dallas has been playing good hockey, too.
Mm-hmm. They had 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, yes.
We mentioned their defense, which is obviously one of the big things that go into the playoffs. Jake Ottinger in net.
Yeah,
come on.
Yes. Oh, I like him.
Jamie Benn's having a renaissance season here.
Yes, he is. You can keep on going. I'm agreeing with all of it. I'm so much thinking that I'm expecting Dallas to go to the conference finals. Is basically what I'm getting at. So I'm saying this is going to be a win here, but I'm looking at them to make a run in the conference finals. They don't play at Edmonton in the next round, will they?
No, they'll play the winner of Colorado Seattle.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that. Okay, we'll discuss that afterwards. Okay, so we're all good with. What are we saying here? I'm going to say Dallas in 6.
I'm going to say Dallas in 6 as well.
I'll take Stars in 7.
Oh, mark this down. Really?
Yeah, you know what? I think I think it's gonna be a good series.
If
I think
Minnesota's
it's going to be a great series.
If Minnesota smartens up and plays the right guy in net, I mean, they could definitely extend that series.
Minnesota can score a bit too. You know what I mean? Like, Minnesota's got a little bit of scoring, and they're not afraid.
Their defense is weak, though. Oh, it's not what it used to be.
No,
and
exactly.
they play. You know what the problem with them, and I hate to say it, is that and it never seems to win in hockey, is that they play a little bit of pond hockey at times.
Oh, the Wild?
Yeah, they play a little bit of pond hockey, and that can get you in trouble in the playoffs. However, what's going to happen is, let's go to the scenario that we just discussed previously. Dallas wins because their defense is better. They get up and it looks like they're going to put them away, and it goes one more game. Why?
Exactly.
Because they'll have a pond hockey game,
Yeah.
and Minnesota ends up winning 6-5 until the next game, and then Dallas knocks them out. But I think it's brave, Steven, that you're calling Minnesota. And if it did happen,
No, you said Stars, didn't you?
I mean, Stars.
Yeah, Stars.
Oh, he said Stars.
Stars in 7. Yeah.
So we're all on board here.
We're all in Dallas.
We're all on Dallas. It's a good thing. I'm saying Dallas to the conference finals, which brings us to
Vegas, Winnipeg. Our first CanCon series.
I'm calling this the most likely upset in the first
What?
round.
Yeah, I
I'm calling
see
this the
Winnipeg,
most.
too.
I'm complete opposite.
Really?
I think Vegas stops
What do you say,
them.
bro?
I don't want to play Hellebuck. Hellebuck's a great goalie. He can steal a series.
That's
easily.
what I'm thinking too. And not only that,
How's the rest of the team doing?
they played better down the stretch. They got in the playoffs. See, back at the All-Star break, I was pumping Dallas, and remember, I was giving Winnipeg maybe one of the top Canadian teams. Remember back in that talk? And then they got hit by a bus or something.
yeah,
I don't know what the hell
At the start
happened.
of the season, they were
Toxic.
leading the division at one team.
that's what
The
you keep
locker room's
saying.
toxic.
Is that what you think it is? Because they were like, I mean, by the All-Star break, I'm saying maybe this is a year that they could, because remember they said they didn't do nothing at the trade deadline again.
Yeah, they got Nino Niederreiter, and that was it.
but
Exactly, just to help their second power play. Like, give me a break.
because he's been saying they're mediocre, and mediocre's going nowhere. But then again, what's Vegas? Vegas is good, but they got Jack Eichel, right? They got Jack Eichel. Remember,
I feel like they
Jack?
frauded their way to the lead of that division. Like,
Thank you.
I don't even know how they won that division.
Me either. And I look at their team, I look at their roster, and I go, I
Yeah.
mean, their goal differential's pretty good.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely a good team.
You know what I
Their
mean?
home and away records are both very
That's
good.
what I was just gonna say, and they seem to be. They have like their balance is good, but I don't see
That's
it.
the thing.
I
They've
don't
always
s-
been a balanced squad.
Yeah, I don't see it. Like I'm going, really? Really?
I know there's something different about them this year. Though, like I've watched like every time I watch them play, I'm like,
I'm bored.
There seems like something off.
And they're bored. They don't play. They don't do anything that jumps off the thing. Like especially if they get a lead, they're like the old left wing lock team. Vegas gets.
That's why I'm saying they could be like don't exactly get fooled by the fact that they're like not the most exciting team to watch in the league because like it's not always the most exciting team that's winning the Stanley Cup.
Agreed.
Exactly.
I'm not.
And I'm not saying Vegas is going to win the Stanley Cup. I'm saying they're going to beat Winnipeg, and I'm saying that they're doing it in 5 games.
I'll bet you a beer it goes more than 5. Because I don't know. I'm going to sit on the fence. This is if someone said to me, "What do you think is the most biggest chance of a crazy upset in the first round?" I'm saying it's Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm. I have a different team for my upset in mind.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. Like, I'm just saying, what if they all decided to go to a place like Shuey's, smoke some weed, and say, "Hey guys, make a run for it," right?
If anything, it's Winnipeg that will get in trouble because they're going to Vegas.
Well, they're good with that. They'll be fine. They'll get over Vegas. They'll know. Maybe they did the party in Vegas the night before the game.
Where's the party in Winnipeg? I'd love to know.
So they go to. That's right. That's Steve. You're right. They're going to go the night before. They're going to go an extra day.
There we go.
They're going to play. They open in Vegas anyway.
Yeah.
So the coach is going to say, "Okay, guys, let's all go to Vegas. Let's go to Hoenn and 8-Ball City."
They're probably there right now.
There you go, warming up, and they're going to. You know what I mean? Someone's going to win a couple bucks. He's going to spread it around.
Yep.
Team's going to have a hard on. Go out and beat him the first game in overtime,
Oh my God.
and we got a series. Correct? That
yeah.
sounds. I like your brother talking to me like this.
I can't believe you guys are. So you guys are both choosing Winnipeg.
I'm going to say it's my sleeper pick.
Oh my God, you guys are out of your minds.
When they do it, like let's go. You know what I mean? I thought earlier in the season they were going to be better. Now they've righted the ship. Agreed?
Yeah.
And they got big defensemen. They got some big
who?
defensemen.
Well,
Let's go back to their.
I mean,
line.
okay.
Morrissey ain't big.
They have one guy that I don't like, Logan Stanley. Can't stand that guy.
There's a lot of reasons why people don't like that guy. He's just not a likable human being.
No.
He's like a nurse in Edmonton. He's getting hard to
I
like.
don't think Winnipeg's D's that big. That's the thing.
They have a couple big guys, don't they?
Like who? Okay, they got the Stanley guy, but he's a bum.
Yeah.
But they play as a unit. I'll give them that. You know what I mean? And they can score.
Have you seen the plus minus of their top players?
Stuff that one down
The
my
big
throat.
minus- the big minus 16 on Mark
I
Scheifele.
didn't want to go there, okay, because I am the guy that talks plus minus. I noticed that about a couple of forwards, and I said, "Ooh, that does not bode well." But it's actually gotten better. It was worse, like
Fair enough.
But okay, so I don't know. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say the Winnipeg upset. There's got to be
Wow.
an upset in the first round.
That's not my pick for the upset.
Okay,
but.
that's going to be the Winnipeg upset. Okay.
So I guess moving on to LA Edmonton. This is going to be an exciting series.
I think so too, but I'm going to go to once again. I'm going to pull the old school out of my back pocket, and it's time for McDavid to make his move.
This ain't the year.
Why not? How many years? Is this his 7th year in the league?
Uh,
I think it's his 7th year in the league.
8th year.
8th year in the league. Okay, come on, man. He's won 5 Art Rosses.
Yes, something stupid like that.
Okay, so now, and all the greats. When do you make your mark as the great?
True.
They're talking about him as a Mount Rushmore guy.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
so when do you get on Mount? Have you ever heard of Marcel Dion?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well,
He's what, like 6th leading scorer all time?
okay, and whoever talks about Marcel Dion.
And that, yeah, well, there you go. But
But I know McDavid's better than Marcel Dion.
Sure.
I see Marcel Dion play live. He was good. But Marcel Dion was the ultimate. Went to L.A., went right to Venice Beach, scored 100 points, and went back to the girls. He's Marcel Dion. He's one of those Frenchmen. He started in Detroit. You know that?
oh
eh?
yeah,
You might have heard the classic story, right?
what story?
There's a place in Detroit. It's called the Olympia. It's the old original Six
the original
Arena.
stadium, yeah.
Okay, let's put it this way. It's not one of the nicest neighborhoods in Detroit. It was the first place where they decided to have locking wheels on your car because guys would come out and jack up your car and steal your rims.
Oh Jesus!
It started in the Olympia parking lot. So anyways, one night, this is urban legend. I don't know who I can do it, but it was talked about heavily in Detroit at the time I was living there. Marcel Dion came out one night to go into his parking lot, and there was some brothers and some gun stuff going on in the parking lot. Now, we're not saying that Marcel had a bowel movement in the parking lot, but he signed in L.A. 6 months later.
Sure.
He was out of town like, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, and the Red Wings were no good at that time either.
No, that's why Lafleur was number 1 pick overall. Dion was number 2. And Marcel Dion was an amazing hot. I think the third player could have been Brad Park or somebody too. It was a pretty
Not
good.
bad top 3.
Yeah, it was something stupid like that if you go back and check it. But that's what I'm saying about Connor McDavid. He's way better than Marcel Dion. I think Marcel Dion
he's
was
like head and shoulders above everyone else in the league right now.
Okay, that's what I agree. So when do you carry your team to? Now I'm saying they're winning this round, and I loved LA. Remember I talking about Doughty leaving the kids and all that stuff earlier in the season, but I didn't see Edmonton coming down the stretch like we said. What if they come down the stretch with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Draisaitl and Evander Kane's back, and they picked up what's his name from Nashville, who's playing great defense.
Ekholm.
And, and they're playing good. But then there's only one thing that they have a problem with. They might start Campbell.
No, they're not going to start. They're going to start Skinner.
Are they?
My problem with that, they have to. Campbell's been a dud down the stretch. My problem with Edmonton is they're 1 forward short.
Oh.
They have 5 top 6 forwards. They need 1 more.
That is fair. Yeah.
Okay. Well, wait a second. Let's talk about the moment. Let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about the moment. The difference in the game. The pressure levels going up. Couldn't they have a couple rise-up guys on their team?
Like who?
But no, you're absolutely right though. Like this is like if anyone's gonna come like have their coming out party, like this is the time to do it on Edmonton.
That's what I'm saying.
It's got to be now.
But who's it going to be?
Well,
Kyler Yamamoto? Come on.
It could be the person that you least expect.
I like that guy. Is he going to have a concussion?
Oh, that's no nice.
Oh my God.
That's not nice.
Okay, I was just saying. Okay, I know what you're saying about them. Their depth is not a problem. Their depth is a problem.
Yes.
Their defense is. You see, the thing here's about the great enigma about the Edmonton Oilers. They're going to score. Okay, they're going to score. Definitely, they're going to score. Their defensemen are going to bring the puck up. The defensemen are going to take care of their back end. What about when their fourth line's out there and their goalie doesn't make the big save?
Mm-hmm.
There's your problem.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm thinking the front runners can get them there. You know what I mean? Like maybe those guys are
They're going up against a pretty good team.
Okay, so let's put it this way.
A balanced squad.
And we're going to get to there in a minute because we're going to be all things Maple Leafs soon. Okay, isn't there somebody on the Edmonton Oilers that could turn into, say, a Bunting? Because Bunting is going to be a key guy, I think, on the Leafs in the playoffs this year. I do, because now he's got the confidence to do that. There's a couple of 19, 18 goal scorers that are getting their 16 minutes of ice time on the Oilers. Like, can't one of these guys rise up? You know what I mean? They got a couple of penalty killers or something. So what?
They have like some good guys, but like they're not.
Why can't one of those guys? You know, in the playoffs, one of those guys becomes more of a guy.
Someone's bound to.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying the recipe.
How many 20 goal scorers does that team have, Edmonton? Let me ask you that.
They have 4, don't they?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. There's the problem.
Okay, I looked at that.
It would be 5 if Kane played the whole season. It would be 5.
I'm up last night. Hey, Steve, I'm up last night trying to go. What other angles can I pump up the Edmonton?
No,
hold on. They don't have that. Oh, they don't have that.
Yeah. Hold on. So it would be 5 if Evander Kane was around the whole season. Granted, I'll give him that.
Okay, and he's going to show up in the playoffs. You know that.
I know.
Okay.
But then the next guy after that, Warren Fogle. How many goals did he have? 13. Is he the guy that's going to rise up?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm hoping there's a guy like that. And I knew they had one more guy. I'm glad you brought up his name because I go, the next guy's got 13 goals.
Yeah.
That's just brutal because that means your balance is really. But I'm saying, McDavid, this is your time. And you know what? And you know what? McDavid starts playing 24 minutes a night, 26 minutes a night. Why not? These guys are in the best shape of their career. Better gear.
Well, I mean,
better
they're going to have to play
better
like that.
Nutrition, better oxygen, better beds, better airplane, better everything. Then play better minutes and play more of them.
I just think with LA, and they're going to be playing.
They're young and fast. I like that.
And they're going to be playing. They've been playing their goalies 50-50 down the stretch. They're not going to be doing that in the playoffs. Korpisalo is going to be the guy.
Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Kings in 6. There's a chance that the Oilers can extend the series to 7, but I'm saying Kings in 6.
That's huge. Huge. Did you hear, brother?
I think, yeah.
He said he didn't smoke before the show. Come on.
We're having a little brewski, but
you really think they're going to win in 6?
Yeah.
LA
in 6.
Oh my! I can't even go there. I'm saying that I'm saying this is Connor McDavid's come-out year with the team. He's going to drag the team there. And maybe Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is going to win the Conn Smythe. Something stupid like that.
No way.
You know what I mean? I can't believe you're dismissing Edmonton that quickly. Like, you're just kicking them to the curb. Thanks for coming out. They're going to win that game, where they're behind. They're going to get desperate. They're going to win that game because LA's going to win because they're going to win anyway. They're going to have one of those games.
Oh, yeah.
That's ruthless. I can't believe that. You're just LA's. And you know what? I should shut up. Because what was I saying back in January, February?
You're all over the Kings.
I was loving them to death, like huge. Like they could be a conference finals team.
Because they were looking that way. Like they still do look that way too.
But I think a little bit of the pressure got on them, and they're a young team. Like their average age, they're one of the youngest teams in the league, aren't they?
Yeah, they
Top
are.
6 youngest team in the league. But they still got Doughty, they still got Kopitar, they still got what's his name. Those guys have won, and they're in the dressing room.
Well, Kopitar and Doughty are the only holdovers from that generation, but they have like some good vets like Arvidsson.
Yeah, exactly.
They got Fiala.
Yeah.
In season 2.
Yeah.
Dano,
exactly.
Yep.
They got guys that are playoff experience. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're ready for the run, which I give you to because I'm telling you, in January, I was saying January, February, All-Star break, I was kind of insinuating, don't be surprised if LA makes it to the conference finals.
Yeah.
But this is when Jack Campbell was still trying to figure out why he got that contract.
I think he still is trying to figure it out.
How he got that contract. Which, there's 2 things that I said at the start of the season. I said the smartest thing the Toronto Maple Leafs did was not sign Campbell. That is on tape. Mm-hmm. I said that. You know what I mean? I'm not no big Leaf guy, as you know. But I said the smartest thing Toronto did is you can't give that guy that money. He hasn't done enough to prove it.
And what's my theory about goaltending?
$6 million or less, and I'm sticking with
for
that
your
right
tandem.
Now. Yeah, for
I
your
agree.
tandem. And Montreal is going to be there next year, but we don't talk about them right now because they're trying to make the Live Tour. Okay, just to let you know.
I'll
But
disagree with you on that when the time comes
Okay,
around.
but I really agree with your brother on this one, Steve. Huge, $6 million or less in your goalies,
Yep.
even in the combo. That is,
I agree.
especially in the long term where the Leafs are now. Because even if you guys go to the conference finals, now you got to give Samsonov a new contract.
Yeah.
What are you going to give him? He ain't getting $6 million a year.
No, he's still restricted. So
And he's still restricted.
It's
Yeah.
probably going to be in the 3.5 range. It's going to be bumped up to.
I was talking about this one with my friends too, and we were saying I brought up like you can compare him to kind of like a Binnington who like won the cup and then had to be paid that year as well, and then look at what he got.
What did he get? Like 4.5?
I think he got something around there, yeah. So
And he's
maybe
still at that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't pan
Well,
out to be.
Well, he might be headed towards a buyout, but
Oh, that's what I think so too. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
your brother has said this, and I the more that he says it, it agrees. There's no more
Elite
carry
goalies.
prices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we've
exactly.
looked around the league, and why don't we go all the teams in the playoffs?
there's like what 2 elite goalies you can make an argument for?
that's right.
Vasilevskiy and Shesterkin.
They're the 2, and they're one of the few teams. If you look at every team that's in the playoffs, there's 16 teams. How many teams they're starting the goalie that they drafted themselves? I think it's only those 2, isn't it? We went through this. I think LA, didn't they? Didn't they draft that?
No. Those are both fresh faces there.
Okay, so that we're talking about almost every team that's in the playoffs this year did not develop their own goalie. They developed someone.
Islanders, Sorokin.
Oh yeah, so then there's 3.
Ottinger.
But what?
Hellebuck.
Ottinger, Hellebuck.
Hellebuck? Was he there?
But the number's less than half. That's the
Oh,
point.
way
Yeah,
less than
it's-
half.
it's
Way
definitely
less
less
than
than
half. Because
50%.
Boston brought in their guys.
Yep.
Jersey brought
Well,
in
their
their
starters
guys.
especially, yeah.
Their starters. Jersey's brought in their guys. Toronto, you guys brought in your guys.
Carolina.
Edmonton brought in their guys.
Carolina.
Brought in their guys.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, the list
so
goes
that's
on,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Florida signed their guy in free agency.
There you
Keep
go.
going down the list.
So that's the theory. I really like your theory though about the fact that you pay $6 million or less for your goal if you're going to be in the salary cap era because apparently the salary cap's not moving as much next year as they thought it was.
It is not, and that's
And I thought it would. I thought ESPN money and stuff like that, but it hasn't.
Didn't work
budged.
out that way.
No. So they're like, what's it going to be? A bump? $1 million or something?
million. Yeah, that sounds
I heard $1
realistic.
million
I think that's
something
what
is
it
going to be
is,
the
yeah.
bump. What is that going to get you? A used puck and a couple of old pads? Like, come on. And meanwhile, in basketball, it's jumping with their because I've heard this on that show that we don't really like to talk about a lot about. I heard an interesting point on there is that the NHL is eventually going to have to loosen up this cap in some way.
They got to go with the soft cap like the NBA.
That's
has.
what I'm saying. They have to do something like that because here's what's happening. And a little issue that we brought up that I want to say now, which is the difference in the 2 leagues. Gary Bettman loves small market teams. He makes them money.
does
He
he.
loves small market. Whereas opposed to the NBA, they got that's what I was saying on our previous show. The NBA got no time for small market teams, but in the NHL, we're pumping their tires every 15
Oh, the Carolinas,
minutes.
and I wouldn't be surprised if Columbus wins the lottery.
Oh, that's going to kill me because you know what? I remember Michigan guys?
Yeah.
F them. You know what I mean? Kind of deal.
Oh,
but,
that's Ohio
but
State
I
territory.
don't think, when we're talking about small market teams, I don't think that Seattle's going to stay as a small market team because they are a big market.
They're kind of
They're
kind
gonna
of
grow
mid, aren't
into
they?
it.
Medium, I'd say.
No,
Yeah.
they're up there. Because they've always had the big market teams. They got the reason they're getting a basketball team back.
100%.
Yeah.
The expansion. I don't know where the other expansion team's going to go because that was a
Vegas.
Oh yeah, what am I saying? Dumbass. Of course, Vegas and Seattle. Here we go. But you know what I mean? Like that's what caught me off guard. Like I don't think that Seattle's going to stay as a small market team. They're
No.
going to be above average team because you know what you forget? People forget that Phoenix is a top 6 market. Nobody talks about that. You know what I mean? But Phoenix is a top 6. But
I just think they're not a big sports city. That's the problem.
Exactly. Everybody's old and retired and golfing and dicking around and shit
Yeah.
like that. Like that. You know what I mean? And baseball is probably their number 1, but no, the basketball is 2. Because that's their thing, and the college sports are bigger than
College sports, in
are bigger in
Arizona.
Arizona than the stuff there. So, what I'm saying is that the Diamondbacks will always be there. But I'm saying, like, what are we going to do with their NHL team, which we doesn't have to talk about, but I'm talking about the small markets.
If they get their arena, they'll be fine.
Batman,
I
they're
think.
trying to fight to get the arena to get them in there. That's my whole point. Even though Arizona isn't a small market on that level, they're a small market when it comes to hockey.
Yeah, non-traditional market.
Non-traditional
Yeah.
market. That's what I
that's a
should
good
say.
term, yeah.
Non-traditional. That's what I'm going. So they're not getting there, but Batman's trying to make money for all of these teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't care about Toronto.
Well, that's the only
New York.
reason why he's been in power is because these small market, like they love them, obviously.
Oh, they
get
kick
equal
back.
spot at the table.
Because it's kind of a joke when you think about it. Okay, now they cut up the ESPN pie, and you
Sure.
come to your piece for the table. Okay, so Columbus and Carolina reach to grab that big piece of that pie that they're going to get, and the Leafs don't even show up to get theirs. So go, what? Oh, that's scrap. we'll get to that later.
The Rangers too,
and the Rangers too. Like, oh, they're all, you know what? I mean, like there's that pie sitting there. You know what? If you guys really need it, take that piece. You know what I'm talking about? Because those teams don't give a shit about that. But that's what Bettman's doing,
Right.
And it's got those teams in there. But I'm saying that's bullshit. I'd rather go back to a looser cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
You know what
I'd say ideally luxury tax, but that's never going to happen.
because they're
should be
scared
that
of the
way.
Leafs and the Rangers. That's who they're scared of, right there with the luxury tax, right there. Because then you become.
Oh, they would take complete advantage.
Oh, why wouldn't they? It would be over in that way. But I'm
Yeah,
saying,
your guys too. Let's not forget.
oh no, we'd be in there like a dirty shirt. No kidding. But I'm saying like there's got like I'm saying like, let's go with I don't know, maybe luxury tax to a point, or have the Larry Bird rule.
Well, like the NBA does it,
incorporated.
where it's like the soft cap and the hard cap.
Yeah.
We are paying luxury if you are like above the soft cap, you know?
Yeah. So
Let's be creative. Why not?
Exactly, because you know what another thing it's doing? It's wrecking hockey in a way that, look at, Chicago fell off, even though LA's back now, because LA's in. Cause
They had a
won
very
the-
good rebuild.
They better than
good and quick.
Yeah, you know, that's Batman's going to be Batman's argument. Look at LA, they got their quick rebuild or whatever.
Well, they did smart. They hired the right guys.
Oh, 100%.
Chicago kept the same bums around for too long.
Oh, and then they had the scandals.
The bum son there, Stan Bowman.
And then, you know what? He was a good hockey guy. It's the whole scandal thing that got them.
No, he wasn't that good of a GM. The fans in Chicago did not like him.
Yeah.
Oh, they ran him out of town.
But like the whole, even before the scandal, there's like people were like, and what 26 or 17, 18 when they lost the first round to Nashville and they blew it up. That's when I'm like, that's when Stan Bowman got exposed as a fraud to me.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
We traded Chalmers into Arizona.
Oh.
He traded Panarin to Columbus. I'm like, this guy's a freaking idiot.
Yes. Oh no. That hindsight has said Chicago's going to be in the dirt for a long.
And I'm gonna call another GM an idiot here since we're moving on to the East. But we should move on.
Yes, we should.
We'll do the Metro playoffs first. We'll
Wait
save
a
the
second.
Leafs for
So
last.
We've got a Colorado we agree in. Basically, we got Stars we agree on.
Yep.
We're not agreeing on the Edmonton thing.
No.
Okay, and
We disagree in Vegas as well. You guys think it's going to be a Winnipeg upset?
yeah, we're calling the Winnipeg, so we got that different. Okay, on to the East and the Metropolitan. What a horrible name. I wish it was called the North or the South or the East, West or something. I'm sick of these names. Another stupid thing the NHL does.
They should just have sponsored names at this point. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Why not?
The Pepsi division.
The Pepsi, yeah. And then those small market teams, we win some more. Watch Bettman do that. And those guys get some more so the Toronto Maple Leafs can leave another piece of pie on the table. No, we don't need that.
They did the season.
The 2021 season.
Yeah, when it was the something. All the divisions, it was like the Honda West division.
Scotiabank North, Honda West.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised they didn't keep that. But
Well, speaking of sponsorships, and before we get in there, one thing that really gets me is like how the Leafs did that. And this is two big ones. They got milk on the jersey and TikTok on the helmets.
Oh, TikTok might not be back next season.
Oh, I don't think so either. They're going to run that out of here. But the bottom line, that's slick on the Leafs part. You got milk and TikTok.
Canadian dairy and
Come
TikTok.
on, wait a second here. That's monolith on monolith, isn't it? Working with a monolith.
yeah,
Wow. And what were you saying about that ESPN pie plate? They didn't get by to pick up their piece?
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
Give it to the homeless.
yeah. There you go.
You know what I mean?
Give it to the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, give it. Let them have it. Give us that little extra. But I'm still staying with the cap. But before we regress, let's get back to the Metropolitan Division.
So first up, we have the Carolina Hurricanes against the New York Islanders, and I'm calling an upset here. Islanders in 6. This is a team built for the playoffs.
Yep.
They got the goalie. Barzal's going to be healthy. By all information, Carolina. We've talked about this before. No A1 players on that team. Sheshnikov, one of their best players, out for the season. Their goalies have proven to be unreliable come playoff time. Brent Burns is having a great season, though. I'll give him that.
You know what? I've got the notes on here, and I've said that before. Steven, you do not know this. I was like Carolina. I thought they were solid. And what did I say at the All-Star break? But. And here's at the house that happened, nothing good comes after but. Yeah. Okay, and one of the things I called for, and I really liked the team. They were another team with Winnipeg at the time. Remember, I was talking them up. But the thing about Carolina that bothered me was, where is the go-to guy? Yeah. Who's going to be like, this is good in the regular season, and you're going to get here.
Nashas and Aho are good, but...
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to say that I'm going to go with your brother here, and the house that happens is going with the Islander upset in the first round.
The worst part is, I just really wish the Islanders would have played the Bruins in round 1 just to kind of push them.
Oh,
because they would have pushed that series to 6, maybe even 7.
Yeah, you know what, though? We'll get to Boston in a minute because I'm going to hate to say anything nice about those schmucks, but that's another story. I like where you're going with the Islanders, and they made those moves at the trade deadline.
Oh, and especially for Horvat. That was a game changer.
Great. And not
really completed that forward group.
And not only that, they played some of the best hockey coming down the stretch. What are they in the last 10?
Last 10.
I think they're 6-4 because they lost 2 in
5,
overtime.
4, and 1. But I mean,
they lost 2 overtime.
But since
games,
the trade deadline, they've been very good.
Outstanding, and their goaltending is, you know what I mean.
Sorokin's very good. He's very, very good.
I like him a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at. What are you saying, Steven? You like that upset?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you guys on that one. I like the Islanders upset.
Ooh, the house is going all in on the Islanders. I hope we don't get we're eating crow or anything. Because you know what? I'm feeling a little bit hypocritical.
Well, you've been back and forth on the Hurricanes. You start off like really high, and then you went high again, and now it's like, cause I was another valley.
And I'd seen them play so many games where they're nice front runners. They'd get that goal or two, then they'd play lockdown. They got good defensemen. They're solid thing. But then you'd go like, who's their star? And he said, I
don't think their puck.
They don't have that guy. In the playoffs, you need that guy.
Also, their style of play, though, I'm wondering how that's going to translate to playoffs because they're kind of just like shoot and go kind of team.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not that tough.
Hang on to the puck, guys. Come on.
They can only win one way, and I think they're going to get exposed for that in the playoffs. Like, teams are going to find a way to like you got other teams like Leafs, Boston, Rangers, like all these other teams that can beat, like you can beat them or they'll beat you in so many different ways.
Yes.
The Hurricanes can only win in one way.
And I don't know if they're tough enough either.
Yeah.
Because the banging's going to be coming around too. And you look at not even like having the big forwards, like that star forward, none of their guys are like, you'd say like knock people on their ass guys. Great skating team though. Carolina is a great skating team. I like the way they look, especially when they get ahead. Mm-hmm. Like they're hard to like. And I'm not saying they're playing any kind of lock defense or anything like that, but they play that circle, like that one way. You know what I see?
Yeah.
You go,
Yeah.
shoot, go get, circle around, come back, back around.
Yeah, I don't know if that run and gun style is going to work in the playoffs.
It's because every once in a while they get stuck in the mud in the middle of the ice, and then they got to get out of that stuck in the mud. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the house that happened is calling for a huge Islander upset.
Isles in 6, baby.
Isles, okay, I'll go Isles in 7.
Yeah, I'll say
I'll
7
take the
as well.
because I can't say Carolina's going to fall down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that because they've gone this whole season, and what are they? The number 2. They're the number 2 seed. But as you say, and nothing good comes after but.
The number 2 record in the whole league.
In the whole league.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So we're loving the Islanders here.
And that will take us to probably our biggest rivalry series in round 1, Rangers Devils.
I'll
2
let you
versus
guys
3.
talk first. I don't like being a fence sitter. I really don't like being a fence sitter. But I was really, you know what I was hoping for, and I said this, Andrew, I was really hoping that the Jersey would chase down Carolina.
I
Yeah.
thought they would.
And they
I
would
know,
get the
I
first,
wanted
and then the Rangers would beat Carolina, and Jersey would win, and we'd have that movement, but they kind of screwed up our matrix.
I was hoping this would be the second round series.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what
That
we're all
would've been
doing
so
because
much
it's going to
better.
be a first team that's got to go. And I'm going with Jersey.
Ooh.
I'm sticking with Jersey because you know what I mean? I'm just, there's something about the team that I liked. They got a little discombobulated in the middle of the year. Now, one thing that's going to come back to haunt me on this is, like, remember I always say the size of the forwards and then they got a bang. That could creep up.
a small group.
They could, but their defense is big enough.
It is.
And I love the goaltending. I love what's his name. I think he's going to be great. You know what I mean? And he's going to be solid.
Vanacek?
Yeah, he's played really, really well, and he's not afraid of the big moment. You know what I mean? And he's got that. You know what he kind of reminds me of? A combination of who's the guy that played in Calgary? The Cujo and the Calgary guy.
Kiprusoff?
He's kind of got that kind of air about him. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean? You can't tell if he's given up 4 goals or you can't tell if he's nobody got a goal in. And I love those goalies the best. You know what I mean? Like, you notice about one thing I'm going to notice about, we'll talk about in a minute about Samsonov is he gets a little ruffled. You see that on him. You know what I mean? When you see Vanacek, you can't tell. Did he let in 6 or did he let in none? You can't tell with the guy, and I love that kind of goalie. Fleury used to be like that.
Yeah,
He's
used
not
to be.
so much
Not
that,
anymore.
not anymore. He's like that. What's his name? That Skinner kid in Edmonton. But then I don't know if he's any good. He just acts like whatever's going on too.
I feel like he's like league average.
Yeah.
Oh, only league average. But I mean, I like a goalie that when you're in there, you can't tell what the score is just by their demeanor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas
yeah.
the other guys, like, you see them sitting there and they start fighting the puck and they're getting all this and you go, oh, yeah, here come one of those guys.
But I mean, if we're talking about goalies, I mean, New York's got one of the best, maybe the best
The
goalie
best
in the
goalie
league.
in the league. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. I'm thinking and this is going to be I don't think I'm contradicting myself. I think that the Jersey's going to be a better scoring team. Even though the additions out onto the Rangers to score more, I think the Rangers can score more. I think they're going to put more pressure on them. I think their defense is going to be a little bit more airtight, and I think they're going to get the better scoring chances, which is going to balance out with what's his name being in the gold. But in the long run, I'm liking Jersey.
I think New Jersey will be there eventually, but not this year. Rangers in 7.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. Rangers in 7.
I'm taking Jersey in 7. All right. so
Well, at least it's going to be a long series. We can agree
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
it'll be a good one.
that's the one I'm going to watch every game. I'm not going to make sure I don't miss.
Yeah, I'm not
any,
planning on missing any of these games either.
Yeah, because that's going to be because you know what, and here's the great drag about NHL playoffs. Sometimes when you get to the semifinals, you've already seen the best games. You don't realize
Yeah.
First round's the best. That's usually
You know
the
what
problem.
I mean? You get to the
Oh, yeah.
you get to the semifinals and you realize you're going to get some of the best games. We've already seen the best games of the playoffs have gone by, which is one of the reasons I say go back to the 1-8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely
And
go
you know
back
what I
there.
heard? Batman blew that off in the last general managers meeting just recently. He blew it off again for small market team references. And I went, what, buddy?
I know.
It's the rivalry.
The playoff system's such a joke. It's like, it's not really a division system. So it's like, I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but I heard someone make a joke about it on one of the sports shows. At least we're not hockey.
Yeah.
I heard someone saying about the playoffs. Maybe it's somebody talking about the NBA and how it works out with their play, and they go, "At least we're not hockey." And I went, "Ooh, what a slap!"
Yeah.
On national TV to
Yeah.
talk.
Well,
about
the NHL fans don't even like the playoff system, so
Yeah, like they're not wrong. So
Okay, so next,
Boston Bruins versus the Florida Panthers, and I
Over.
guess it's going to hurt, but congratulations to the Boston Bruins for taking all the regular season records, including one from the 77
oh,
Habs.
that's really good. But we had ties back then, so I'm going to put an asterisk beside their name. I want an asterisk.
Yeah, but there's shootouts. I guess that's
Yeah,
more
we
of an
had
opportunity for wins now.
yeah. We only lost 8 games. How many did they lose?
Boston lost 17, including overtime.
Okay, so Montreal only lost what that year?
Oh, not many.
Yeah, we lost less, but you guys can get more
There's
points.
more.
than
There's more opportunities to lose now,
Yeah.
though, with overtime.
No, I'm saying we had overtime in those. We had, 8 ties that year?
Okay.
Give us those overtime. We would have probably
Yeah.
won 6 out of 8 of those, and we would have been met. Don't in the house that happens. We
okay.
keep tabs on the Habs, and you know that. Even during playoff time, we keep tabs on the Habs.
Lynx.
Yes, okay, we're trying to make the Live Tour. It's another story. I'm starting a Logan Mayo bandwagon, fan club right now.
Oh, God.
Okay, Steven, all right? You're hearing that first right here. I'm starting that band club. I'm starting that bandwagon on the club. I'm going to have him in the lineup. Do you see him playing in the O?
I have not. No,
Best defenseman in the O.
I saw his stats. He's definitely playing well.
Okay, and then here's even crazier. Here's crazier. I'm going to tell you this. He's 20 years old coming into the league. He's not going to be no 18-year-old kid. Remember that. And the guy that's playing
Defensemen need time to develop, though. He's probably gonna have to play a couple years in the A.
Yeah, he's got a. He's got.
I
to
used
pay
to
his
like
dues
you guys.
a bit.
Stop it. We're playing. No, and he's coming. Did you see the size of the boy, too?
He's a big kid.
He's a big kid at play. If you're dominating in the O at 20, you're ready for the NHL. Come on.
You
Not
should be
necessarily.
dominating.
Yeah,
A 20-year-old should be dominating.
Exactly. But he's next level dominating. Like every game he stands out.
No, because he's playing against like 17, 18-year-old.
Okay,
kids.
that's enough.
Okay,
Montreal
yeah, we're talking
Canadian
about player
talk.
because here's the number one thing we're going to talk about. I won't even talk about Boston. Let's just say they're going to win. We all agree?
How many games?
Get
5.
the brooms out.
Okay.
Whoa!
Get the brooms
Okay.
out.
You're not giving Florida any credit for
Nope.
changing the makeup of that team?
I mean,
They look good down the stretch.
Yes,
Yeah,
they did. They look really well. They look like the team that we should have been talking about all season.
Yeah, I might
You know
have to
what I
walk
mean?
back my
That's true.
fraudulent take on them.
Yeah, but it still took them this long to get there. Like they're suddenly going to rise up and win? No. And I think it's that time, I'm going to hate to say it, where like we haven't had a Jack Adams. What do you call that? Is that the Jack Adams trophy, whatever it is?
Coach?
Coach.
No,
you-
not. I mean,
oh.
not Jack Adams. What's when you win the President's Cup?
President's Trophy.
Yeah. We eventually someone's got to win the Stanley Cup again, right?
Well, hold on. Well, let's just talk first
Where's
round
it?
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just saying Boston's going to win. We agree. What do you say? 4 or 5 games? I don't see it going past that.
6.
Wow.
I think
Oh,
Florida
okay.
steals a couple games.
I know, I feel like they expel too much energy down the stretch, and I feel like they're gonna run out of juice here.
I don't know about that.
You call it the broom?
Oh yeah.
You're looking at the broom.
How about you? 5?
5.
4, 5, 6.
Okay, we'll go 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Because also, don't forget, Boston's got that big target on their back. They're not
is
getting the
true.
worst of anybody.
Okay, so now we've discussed all this hockey playoffs. We've got this out of the way. I think it's time that we dedicate ourselves to the real issue about playoff hockey and what we call this the GTA. We want to talk about old-time allegiances like Italian communities, Polish communities, Ukrainian communities, and them being able to sleep at night. You know what I mean? Families being comfortable together. You know what I mean? Going to work in the morning with a smile on your face. Are the Toronto Maple Leafs going to do that this year, guys? Come on. What are we going to get? What are we
Leafs
going to help
in
you
5
out?
have been saying it forever now.
Okay, I'm going to go with this. All right. You know what, Stephen? I love this. Your brother, like, this is how I talk about the Detroit Lions. It's another story. He's saying in 5. I am saying I have not. I've heard most hardcore. This is the most confident hardcore Leaf guy I know. I'll be honest with you, Andrew. All my guys at work, everything. I said, you know the guy I do the podcast with? He said 5 games. No, fuck, he didn't say that. We might win. All right, well, he's saying you're winning 5. You said you might win. What kind of fan are you? So, Andrew, I'm in your corner. If I'm going to go, I'm going all the way. You going to back
Yep.
your brother?
Oh yeah.
You going to say it in 5?
Oh yeah. Even like talking to yesterday, I was talking to my friend who's a Lightning fan. He was saying Leafs in 5 as well.
So listen to this. Since the trade deadline, Tampa Bay.
Horrible.
Or since February 15th. Was that the deadline?
No.
Okay, well, since February 14th, or the 15th, Tampa Bay, 11-14-4. Toronto, on the other hand, 18-7-3.
Looks like goals against the average.
The goals against, I don't have those stats.
Okay. Anyways, I checked that.
Samsonov has a better save percentage than Vasilevsky this year, though.
No, and the goal differential. I checked all those metrics last night. I should have brought him down, but I thought he was just going to pull him out for me, like he's doing right now. Every metric says Toronto, especially coming down the stretch. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that. Then you guys got to win. Okay, so
they will.
Cruz from the House That Happens is predicting that the Toronto Maple Leafs will win in 6. Okay, because they're going to win in their house, just to put a period on the sentence. Okay? And I'm nervous doing this. I don't tell my friends. I didn't tell my dog. Because I asked my dog, he goes, "You're not taking the Leafs, are you?" I said, yeah, this time I'm going to leave. Because, guys, let's go. Wait, what now? How now? Steven, I'm glad you're here. You guys are Leaf defenders, so I'm going to pick apart why you're not going to win.
Sure.
You're defensemen. Right off the hop, I'm like, what? I want to see the 6 guys, and they better play every night. Don't start doing that rotating keeps going, well, maybe we should tinker bullshit. It don't work, bro. Andrew, don't give me that look. Play those 6 guys, and tell me the 6 guys you're going to play.
Well,
They fucked Lilligren already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steven, you weren't here. The
No,
best line you guys had was Sandin and Lilligren.
Playing sheltered minutes. We've been through this.
When you guys
They were never going up against other teams' top guys.
Because you got scared and you had to
wouldn't
send
say
them out
that,
of
though.
town. At the time, they had the best metrics on the team. He even admitted it. He goes, "It's not going to work with those 2 guys. It's not going to work." Because you guys had Riley. You know, you played your best hockey without Riley this year until the end, until his last few stretch. And Riley's not even your guy. You got to put him out there because of money. Mm-hmm. He's still good in the power play. He's been looking good.
Well, he should be on the top power play.
He's been doing that. But outside that, what has Riley really done? Is he scaring you? When they're coming over the line, the first game of the playoffs, and Kucherov and Stan, whoa, where's Riley? Let's take him out. He wouldn't be on the ice when they're playing. Okay,
that's true.
They're going to switch him
That's
on.
fine.
They're going to take him
it looks
on.
like it looks like that's the move. They're kind of playing Riley in a bit of a sheltered pairing, basically 5-on-5, which I'm fine with.
Whatever,
I'm not going to take it.
I'm not
But
gonna
this
play
is
for
your
that.
money guy. You're paying this guy, what, $7 million a year?
There's
Is
no
he
salary
playing
cap in the playoffs. It's okay.
Oh, okay, okay, so you're not going to look at that. But this guy, if you that kind of money, shouldn't he get some kind of significance? Your number one's going to be Brody and Giordano, right?
He's still going to get his ice time, Riley.
Oh, he has to. So is that what do you say when your big moments out there? Who's going to be out there? Giordano and Brody?
Giordano Hall has been a solid pair.
Oh, you're back on Hall.
McCabe Brody, one of those 2. We have 2 pairs we could send out. So
I'm just saying that I think Brody's been looking really good coming down the stretch.
he's looked great all season.
Oh yeah, but
all season.
But he's got pushed around a bit.
That's fine.
With all the talk about the Leafs, like nobody's talking about him more because like they're talking about more than Giordano, which is this guy's playing out of his freaking mind considering his age
Turning
and
back the
mileage.
clock.
Yeah,
Yep.
huge like on there. So he's been playing with Hall, right?
Most of the year.
Your brother hates Hall. He's a
Oh,
liar.
all
He
Leaf fans hate
drags
Hall.
his. Yeah.
We all hate him.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now you're
He's
gonna.
been playing good since trade
So now
deadline, though,
you-
so I can't shit on him.
Okay, because I mean your brother had him on the bench.
Oh,
Like a bench because you know when you got the guy from Washington, Gustafson or whatever his name is, he can't get on the ice.
No,
he's only one
there.
way.
He's there if like Riley or someone gets injured.
You know, and you guys got the other guy too, don't you? You have 8, which I think is smart because always
Shen?
Shen. Yeah, so you got him too, so you're good because Shen's going to get on before Gustafson.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Shen's
There's
the
no-
number 7.
Oh, of course, because you know in the playoffs, you know someone's going to get nicked up, or someone's
You need like 9-10D come playoff
100
time.
times, or one guy's going to have that bad game where you got to sit him. Do you think if Riley has a horrible game, like say in the first thing and he's a -3 in the first game, do you sit him second game?
Doubt it. Highly doubt it.
No, but that'd be quite the message sent if he is.
Well, you sat him one game early. Remember
I
a
don't
few
see
games
that.
ago, he
I don't
sat
see
in the
that.
middle of nowhere. Remember what? About 8 games ago, you sat him. You said it was
Yeah, but
some-
all the guys got rest though down the stretch.
Yeah, I think that was more so just going
You
into
think
the
Doughty
playoffs.
asked for rest? Do you think McCarr asked for rest? Do you think McElvoy, the guy on
Do
Boston,
you think?
asked for
I don't know
rest?
if it's them asking for rest. I think it's them like you're sitting.
No,
Yeah,
you suck.
like
Go
you
look at the tape for a game. Get your game better. Why can't we be honest? Because nobody in Toronto.
Well,
wants
hold
to
on.
criticize
Hold on.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Giordano's sat the last couple games.
Oh, no, that
because he
makes
sat?
sense. No. This is the end now. Now you can sit. The last 5 games, Giordano shouldn't even got a shift the last 2 games. Come on. That's a whole new ball game. We know why we're sitting him. O'Reilly's got to go out there and work on his goddamn game.
Riley, not
Riley,
O'Reilly.
whatever. But you're lucky O'Reilly's back. Well, O'Reilly,
100%.
He
was the number one acquisition at trade deadline.
And the only two I said, Steve, you should have got was that McCabe guy and him, and you should have been done. All this extra moving guys around, movable parts, has really screwed up your team. I've thought.
Lafferty and Achari have been great additions as well.
Lafferty's worked out well.
Yep.
Achari too.
Achari's been a great pickup.
Achari too.
Last couple of games, these last two couple of games, I think the Leafs have been doing like the compulsories. It hasn't been the free skate yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But what I want to get to here, let's talk about Tampa. Let's talk about why they're not going to win this series.
It's easy.
So, like I said, Edmonton, they're a top 6 forward short. Same with Tampa. They thought Buddy from Nashville was going to be the guy there. Tanner Jeannot. Disaster.
100%.
Just a freaking
What's
disaster.
he -8 or something too, isn't he?
Who cares? Like, is that, let's
as well.
Yeah, no.
So they're top 6 forward short. They got a third line. Their fourth line, all three of those guys are past their best before days.
Yeah.
Corey Perry's -28 despite playing under 12 minutes a night. How does that happen?
Because he's done.
That's terrible. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
That number
retire.
But now in the playoffs, he's going to have that where people play different in the playoffs. Now, here's why I say Tampa Bay
But
lose.
if you can't play, you can't play.
Okay, but no, maybe he'll rise up in the playoffs. That's why he's there. He played good last year against Toronto in the first round, didn't he?
He was also playing. He was also a much different player last year. He was playing first power play. He's been taken off of that this year for good reason.
Oh, yeah, no, because he's not scoring. So I'm going to put it this way, okay? Here's why I think Tampa Bay is going to lose. It's a matter of attrition. This is 3 years in a row they went to the finals. They played more hockey than anybody else in the league.
They're gassed.
They're
gassed.
It's caught up to them now.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And they got ripped off by Nashville like twice in a calendar year.
And then what happened? Well, because Yzerman's gone. Like, Yzerman basically built his team.
He did build this team.
Okay, so now that
but
they're
like
gone,
Brisebois, he's proven that
he's not very good.
Stan Bowman.
But I mean, like, look at it. Like, okay, Yzerman built this team. We know that. Okay, and now since he's been gone, they've made some questionable moves.
Oh, like I just said, 2 horrible trades with Tampa.
Oh,
you gave him
No,
Ryan
Nashville.
McDonough, and you give him like a.
But was that a money thing though?
Even so, you got nothing back for him.
No,
you got Philippe Myers, who's been playing most of the year in the AHL, and you got Prospect, who spent most of the year in the ECHL, and this guy's like 24 or something. So, forget it. That trade's a disaster. Like, come on. Then you trade a first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And Cal Foote, who is he a spectacular defenseman? No, but he's pretty good.
He's solid.
You trade him for a bum.
Oh yeah, no, I think that guy's going to hurt them because remember Tom in the playoffs last year, he was out there in key situations.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. The last 2 years, actually, he always seems to be on the ice. He's either making that defensive play or he's made that key pass, got the assist on that goal. I think that Cal Foote guy was a big. You notice him on Tampa that he's not there like that guy. That's a big. But Nashville didn't make the playoffs either, though.
That's fine though, but they're openly rebuilding though, and they got some good pieces to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're going to be able to recoup some assets for McDonough.
Okay, so let's cut.
Hold on, and I also want to say, Tampa is missing the playoffs next year.
Oh, let's put now. Not only slapped them, let's kick him to the curb.
Yeah, I can see that.
All their guys
burn down their house and kick their dog as you're leaving. Holy!
We talked about how the cap's not going up. Well, guess what? They got a bunch of guys getting
and you know what?
bumps next year.
And not only that, I understand what you're saying, especially with the situation where they like whoever was managing, like Yzerman would never have left the cupboard that bare. Like, look at with the picks and stuff. Like, they're a disaster.
Like I said this. I think our last show. The Athletic ranked them as the 31st out of 32, like farms, like prospect pool.
System, yeah.
And they have no draft picks
and no picks. Mm-hmm. No, I do say that. But then they could be Washington and skip over a year because remember when Washington around the time they won the Stanley Cup, they stayed competitive because they were kind of in that position too.
They were a lot better equipped, though.
You think?
Yeah.
Because they didn't fall out. Well, they never won another Stanley Cup. But the thing is about Tampa Bay is it's a matter of attrition. It's 3 years in a row they made the finals. They won 2 cups. Their time has come. So this is what I'm saying. If the Toronto Maple Leafs do not beat Tampa Bay this year, it's a colossal failure.
It would be, but
it would be
not,
a monumental failure. They have to win because then we got to see what they're going to do against Boston. Yeah. Because if there's any team, in my opinion, in this conference that can fight with Boston. It's not going to be the Rangers. It's not going to be
Leafs.
Jesus. It's going to be the Leafs.
Yep.
Only because they built up on size and they've got the experience from those other, like their bottom six forwards. Those guys have got a couple years of playoff experience now. And they all play solid. They don't make mistakes. And like you said, adding, what's the guy's name?
Lafferty and Achari.
Yes, I have to admit they are upgrades on what they're doing. Now, I do believe they lost some speed when they lost Buddy because their power play hasn't been quite as effective.
Engvall?
Yeah, I think that was a guy that I think that you guys could have used him more than one of the forwards you have now. I don't know what
My
guy
problem
you
with
would take
Engvall
out.
though is like he was like
Not
shy
tough
away
enough.
from the moment.
A lot of people said that. So basically, you're saying he's not tough enough.
He isn't tough enough.
No, like for like a guy of like his size and everything, like that's the one thing I wish he would have done more. Just use his size more to his advantage. Like,
He's 24 years old.
yeah, but he's every time he
24
steps on the
years old.
ice, he's the biggest guy there, pretty much.
And he's got great speed. He was a great
He's a
penalty
great skater,
killer.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a great penalty killer, and his plus minus was always the same. He wasn't a liability on the ice. I like that type of a playoff guy more than I like a Lafferty or what's his name?
Achari?
Achari.
Yeah.
Those
Those are
are
the guys
guys. Those are nice pieces, though. Like they could be because maybe they're going to have.
Those are the guys that help you win in the playoffs, though.
I was just going to
it,
say
yeah.
maybe they have something that's not in the box score. That Buddy doesn't have. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Maybe
Yep.
that could be. But they have to win to show it.
Of course.
Like what kind of disaster is this? If the Leafs lose, I don't want to rain on your guys' parade. But if the Leafs lose, what are we saying
I
now?
don't want to imagine that.
not
Oh
gonna
well, you
lose.
got to deal with it because Montreal Canadiens can still win a playoff rounds before you guys.
yeah, right.
I'm just saying.
You guys
we
aren't
can
even gonna
still win
sniff
it.
the playoffs next year.
We could win a playoff as we speak right now, Steven. You cannot deny what I'm saying. Montreal Canadiens could still win a playoff series before the Toronto Maple Leafs. That would be
Don't
the
give him
utmost
that.
disaster. No, I'm just telling this young man he's got to deal with reality.
That's
That
not
could
real. That's
happen.
fantasy.
That could happen.
Cruz, you're talking about the Habs making the playoffs
Listen,
next year. That's
I have
fantasy.
a lottery ticket in my pocket. Okay? I got a lottery ticket in my pocket. So anything could happen here. I'm
You
just
have a better
making
chance of being struck by lightning.
I'm not saying I'm not saying I want to be struck by lightning either. I'm
just saying you have a fair chance.
I'm going that you guys have to realize that if you lose this year, you know what I'm going to tell you guys? I've been living in this city for 42 years. And I'm going to tell you one thing I have noticed about this city, and that was way back in the day, and it was even worse when you guys had that stretch where you didn't make the playoffs forever. The mood in the spring in this city gets wrecked when Toronto ain't winning, or if the Blue Jays start shitty. You guys, the spring
Oh, I
in here
know.
is a mess.
Yeah. Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And all that happens is I'm talking about it, and a lot of guys want to take a poke at me because I'm happy. I'm the happy guy. Hey, what's wrong? Oh, the Blue Jays are what? They're 6-8. Don't worry about it. Oh, the Leafs miss the playoffs. Don't worry about it. Let's keep tabs on the Habs. You know, I can't see you guys losing.
We're not going to lose.
You can't
not
lose
gonna
this
lose.
year, but this.
Hey,
would
you know
be-
what? Leafs are beating Boston in round 2.
I want to see, you know what, that's what I really want to see. I want to see that series more than anything because then what's going to happen is we're going to get Jersey to play Carolina eventually, aren't they?
You mean New York's going to play the
I mean,
Islanders?
the Jerseys. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're all agreeing with that. Carolina's going to be. Jersey's going to end up playing the Islanders. So I'm
Or
going
the
to.
Rangers, depending on who you pick.
Okay, but I'm liking Jersey. So I'm saying this is that a sneaky backdoor pick. My closet, whatever sleeper team, is the Devils.
I don't think
the
they're
whole league.
not this
the whole
year.
league. I'm saying that
Not this year.
If Jersey some kind of sneaks through the back door, Toronto and Boston beat the living hell out of each other, suffer a couple injuries, and Jersey sneaks through the back door. Because ultimately, we got to say who's going to win.
But
the
Jersey's
Stanley
going to
Cup.
be in some tough series too, though. Those
Those teams
Rangers,
aren't going to be banging and killing each other. Maybe the Rangers are.
Rangers. And then if they play the Islanders, that's another team that could beat them up too.
They're, but I think it's going to be the physicality is going to be more like as Tampa comes out. Tampa's going to be thinking right now. The only way we're going to beat Toronto is to beat them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Tampa's going to have that mentality. Suddenly, Steve Stamkos
But they're like-
becomes a hitter every year in the playoffs. Stamkos suddenly starts hitting everything in sight.
Tampa's playing frustrating though. Like Kucherov's taking like these retaliation penalties.
So he's
the
got to
dirty
stop
rat.
doing that. Oh, he's
Kucherov?
turned into.
No, he can keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep taking dumb penalties. I love it.
He is showing his true Russianism. He is. He's becoming a sneaky, dirty. Like he don't even give a shit. Because you know what? He's got the rings now.
And he's got the Art Ross trophy too. Does he have a heart as well?
No, he
so.
has a heart. He's never most valuable player.
He's got the Art Ross though.
But he's won that trophy, isn't for like when the players, like Jack Adam. What was that trophy when you're the player's best?
Ted Lindsay?
The Ted Lindsay. He's won a Ted Lindsay, hasn't he?
Has he?
I think he's won the Ted Lindsay.
Let's look
He's
at that.
won something. But everyone hates the guy because of his personality. I only like him at press conferences when he wins the Stanley Cup.
With the can of Bud Light.
With the can of Bud Light.
Can I mention Bud Light on this show?
I'm saying that I think that we should cross.
He does have a
that
Hart
line.
trophy, actually.
Yeah, I
He
thought
did?
so. Yeah.
He did.
He won the Hart that year.
2019.
Oh, he did win.
Yeah,
Oh, he did
he
win.
like dominated.
I don't like the guy.
You kidding me?
Anyways, in any event, I'm just saying that before we close up our playoff segment and all this,
I want to
stuff,
ask you, who do you have in the finals?
who do I have in the finals right now? Boston and Edmonton.
Steven?
I'm gonna say my Western pick. I got for the East. I'm gonna say the Rangers.
Not a bad pick.
For the West, though, that's the one I'm still kind of thinking. I'll go. You know
You
what?
know your brother's saying straight Leafs.
I'll go Oilers.
Yeah.
Oilers, Rangers.
Oilers, Rangers. We got two Oilers picks here.
Leafs and Kings.
Leafs and Kings. He's sticking to the Leafs and Kings. It's been said here on April 15th.
Yep.
2023, we're seeing the Leafs Kings. That would be a highly entertaining series.
It's the finals that Mike Myers wanted.
Mike Myers would good call. He would lose his mind on.
He lives in New York, though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's
but
always
I was
he's
just talking about the
confused
love
back and
group.
forth because he's got an office in L.A.
Oh, okay. Because he's always at whenever the
Rangers
Leafs
game.
are no Islanders.
Islanders.
Yeah.
He's always
He's not a Ranger guy. He hates the Rangers.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he had something because you notice he never shows up at Ranger games, but he shows up at Islander
Islanders.
games. Wouldn't it be more Hollywood to show up at the Ranger game? He's like Billy Crystal.
Right.
Billy Crystal never show up at Laker game, but always shows up at the Clipper games.
Fair enough.
Like he's like that kind of a guy because he's not a Ranger guy. I remember him mentioning like certain teams he doesn't like. He hates the Habs.
Well, if you're
You
a
know what I
Leaf
mean?
guy.
But I mean, he's got a solid hate for the Habs. But so we got to talk here. I'm going to give you Mr. Milani. I'm going to give you. I knew he was going to go there. I knew he had to. After all the talk all this year on the House That Happens, if he didn't have the Toronto Maple Leafs going to the finals, he'd been a complete fraud.
Right.
So I got to give you credit for.
I appreciate him. You don't think I'm a fraud.
No, you don't. I never thought he was a fraud ever. But I mean, if he suddenly jumped off the Leaf bandwagon, I would have said, "Come on." Because he's been calling it. And I guess your brother, he'll learn along the way. He'll toughen up and he will say.
Would you say Boston or New York?
Rangers.
New York,
Rangers and
Edmonton?
Oilers, yeah.
You know what, guys? I hate it because I hate that team more than I hate most teams in life. But I'm just saying that circle comes around where eventually it's got to happen that the team that wins it, the best team wins the Stanley Cup. It's about almost a generation since it happened, right?
The lack of adversity doesn't scare you, though?
What's
About
that?
The lack of adversity.
No.
They've never really been challenged this season.
But that's why they're so good. They just steamroll you. And they can play those
Playoffs is
great...
a different animal, though.
Well, they're big enough. They picked up Bertuzzi and what's his name at the trade deadline. They just made them bigger and uglier. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They come at you in waves and they can play every style. Now here's what I'm saying. I will say this. Steven, remember you heard it here first. I'm not a big fan of pond hockey, but I say if the Leafs play Toronto, the only way they're going to beat Boston is they're going to have to open it up a little bit more. Because they can't let Boston get them keep that game tight. Because Boston's not a wide open team. They're
Not
very
at all.
regimented, like the way they play up and down the wings. Good power play, good penalty team, good special teams, solid goal. That whole, when you paint by numbers hockey team, they're that. But what changes that? When you change the flow of the game. Get something, and I think Toronto's one of the few teams that can take them off that, and Jersey, because they're the better skating teams. And I think they're a better skating team than the Rangers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the Rangers seem to get a little bit tougher, but they don't have that. You know what I mean? The Islanders, and your team, the Islanders, they're coming up thinking like that, which I would have agreed with you. They would they'd give the Bruins a much harder series than the Panthers were going to do.
I'm so upset that didn't work out. That it was Bruins Islanders.
Because they
that
would
would've
give them the
been
thing.
great.
But I'm saying the type of team that if you're going to beat the Bruins, you're going to have to open up the tap a bit. Because if you stay in that regimented 2-1 games, Boston's going to beat you. Look, one of the best games we've seen in the last month was what? 2-1 Boston over Toronto. That was a great, great hockey game. But what happened? Boston can
Yeah, they
keep
played the Bruins style.
And then Boston, Toronto tried to
But
play
that's why I think that's why Florida could be an interesting matchup for Boston in round 1 as well, though.
play wide open. Just go
Exactly.
wide open. Don't like play. Florida's got to play their style and not think about what Boston's going to do. Make Boston adjust to them. But then Boston can just come out and just keep pushing that freaking tank down coming down the line. They just they won't change because they're big enough to. You know, their physicality is what, to keep them in line to do what they're doing, even though I hate them. Why am I talking good things about Boston, Steve? I don't do this.
Because they had a great season. It's hard not to.
It's a historic
season.
Yes, it's one for the records that
we
we have to respect, which could be the time, which I hope they're going to do. I really want to put it on record here that I'm saying I can't see the LA Kings getting to the finals. I just can't see them doing it. You know what I mean? And I was on their bandwagon huge. So, Steve, for your brother to just come out Kings, Leafs, whoa, caught me off guard. I was thinking maybe you're going to say something else.
This is a big changing of the guard season. So why not?
I think it is. I think it is. I agree. The face
Penguins and Capitals missed the playoffs.
Oh, it's a big shift on that, which we should bring up. Like, sorry Sid, sorry Ovechkin. No, those two teams we blow up.
Oh man, Pittsburgh's got to make some wholesale changes, especially on the blue line. They're the oldest team in the league.
Yep.
They desperately need a goalie. Jari, he's a guy, but he's not the guy.
Yep.
Their defense is just way too old.
Oh.
Jason Zucker is coming off the books, which is probably the best thing for them to get a lot of salary cap space from that. But they got to find a way to get rid of Jeff Carter. He's probably a buyout candidate.
100%. So are you saying this is a loop? Like, we were talking about this the other night with a bunch of people about how, because of the hard salary cap, the league goes kind of in a loop.
Yeah.
Now, I think that Toronto is in the middle of that loop right now, in being that they're got the potential to be in the playoff runs for the next few years. There's no doubt about it. They're built well.
Edmonton, New Jersey, LA, they're all in that mix.
Yeah, and they're all there. But I mean, and LA has learned a lesson. Let's watch LA. They won the cups, and then they had those couple bump in the roads, but they made the readjustment, so you got to align this way. So before we go, one last thing I want to say, and I don't mean to be the rain on the parade, which they won't. Remember, I'm saying they won't. But if the Toronto Maple Leafs lose in the first round, what kind of changes do you think we're going to see on the team?
Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
Okay.
I don't honestly,
you know what? It's not going to happen. I'm going to be that guy. It's not going to happen.
And I'm glad you're sticking to it. Don't budge. I'm glad, because that show that we talk on, those guys dance on the fence so much they make me sick. Like, they're all diehards. Then say it. Be like you. I haven't heard one guy.
Well, two of them are diehards on that show.
But they're not talking like you. I haven't seen any. They sound nervous. They sound. You heard them. I always go in to see what they're going to say, because it's our only hockey thing. What's everyone saying about hockey? So you look in there. I haven't heard one of them be as hardcore as you are right now. Like you're
because they're soft.
Thank you, and you can't be soft on here. So I'm going to say this: if Toronto, which they will, so everyone's got the job next year. So Dubas has got his job. Keefe's got his job. Everyone's got the job next year. All they got to do is beat Tampa, and nothing changes. Agreed?
And they can't roll over against the Bruins.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. I think that's a 7-game series either way.
Oh, because you know what my theory was? My theory was before, way back at the All-Star break and stuff, before Boston took off, Steve, before they completely lost it and got everywhere my thing was that Toronto was going to go to the
conference final.
That was my call. The Toronto, a long time ago, I said they're going to go till Boston took off here, and then I went, oh, gee. Now now things have changed dramatically. I can't go. And I didn't want to jump off the Leaf bandwagon. But my point being was this. When they made all those crazy trades at the deadline, I thought it was too much of a structural change for the team. So that what's going to happen is you're going to be able to be molded together enough to be that cohesive unit to take you to the finals. So that's why I kind of backed off now, because I think they changed the structure too much. However, coming down now, like I said, they go the 6 defenseman route. I think that if they go in and play Boston and they decide to open it up, I think that they could do it. It's going to depends on goaltending, which is one of your flaws. So I'm going to say...
Is it though?
I'm going to say here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. This is going to be the craziest take ever before we leave. The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, and when the first game of the playoffs starts in that finals, that Wall kid is going to be the goalie.
I knew you were going there.
That Wall kid is
Well,
going to be the goalie. I've been
Steven,
telling you.
me and you were having a conversation. We think Wall's going to be the backup next year. I think
100%.
Matt Murray's,
No,
Matt Murray's out of town.
Oh, yeah. He's got. We remember that was my call in the beginning. What are you doing, this guy? What are you doing when they got this guy? Well, I don't know. But he's got playoff experience. He wanted you remember in the beginning? And way back.
I want to be on Murray's side, but like
he tried to be.
It's been hard.
It was a safety net, you could say.
I thought it was a dumb mistake, and I'm on tape. Go back and said it. I said you're
They
going to
didn't give up anything to get him though, which is the good thing.
I thought it was regret, and he'll tell you how long ago did I say? We're talking Christmas time. Sorry, Christmas time. I was saying, when the playoffs start, who was the goalie? Who was I saying?
You were saying that before the season, forget Christmas time, before the puck dropped for game 1. You said Samsonov was going to be the playoff starter.
Will be the starter on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it looks like I'm going to be right. But now I'm taking it one step further. Samsonov's been making me a little nervous with his injury issue. Wall's going to come in and be a hero.
I think Wall's good. I've said this before in the podcast.
Great.
Every year since the Leafs just drafted him, his college numbers got better and better. When he came professional, there was that first year drop, which is fine. Like the AHL is a tough league to play goal in. I understand
go
that.
from college to AHL?
Yeah,
That's
tough.
Completely different game.
But his numbers in the AHL every year better and better. And
Because
this year,
you learn the game. And you know what? Toronto does have some good. They say Toronto's got some good goalie coaching in their line, which they say starts here in the MTHL. Like all these guys are going to coach Toronto goalies because remember the QMHL always had the reputation as
the best
you got to
goalie
get
league.
the goalies out of there. You got to get the goalies out of there. And I remember years ago, all the people in Toronto, even people here that talk rep stuff, doing extra goaltending stuff because why can't the O have goaltenders as good as every other league, which is going? But I like this Wall kid a lot.
he's good.
Yeah.
He's very good, and I'm saying if suddenly what happened in the playoffs that you had to turn to him, I don't think you should be worried about it.
I'm not.
I won't be. If he has to start a game,
No, every game he's come into this year, it's been. I thought he looked pretty good.
I think he's looked as solid as
Yeah.
a rock, and I think the time in the AHL has helped him.
Of course.
Because, you know, you get more shots on goal, the game's wide open, and he's side-to-side good. You know, you see the goalies?
Oh, the lateral movement
It
is so
is-
important.
That's
Yeah.
what I say, and his side-to-side is what opens my eye because I think that's one of Samsonov's weaknesses, is going side-to-side. Like, he's a great angle guy, moving out, moving back, and cutting off angles, but I don't think that he's got that
Yeah, it did like the kind of the push off or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Like the Wall has, Like he's got that. That looks pretty good. So in any event, we want to thank everybody listening to our playoff preview. We really don't do it twice. Steven, you're going to have to come back.
Oh, for sure.
We're going to give you
I'd
the
be glad to
opportunity to come back. So we'll have you to talk about certain things, including whether or not the whole city goes into a massive depression. The weed stores have sales that are unbelievable.
It's going to be a good frenzy in Toronto.
Alcohol Anonymous has an uptick and it's people shining up. The pharmaceutical stores run out of stock. Okay, I'm just using different angles because usually I'm more brutal than that about it. But in any event, Stephen, I want to thank you so much for coming out and joining us both shows. I also want to say this before I go. I usually say that the Stanley Cup playoffs, first round, please, everybody, don't listen to Americans and say it's a niche sport, because I'm going to tell you this much. If you're going to be watching basketball and you're going to be watching hockey, I hope you have the privilege that I do of having screens side by side, and you're going to come to the realization that your eyes will be looking more at the hockey games than they will be looking at the basketball games. And that's my call here right now at the House That Happens. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you come back again next week. My name is Cruz.
And I'm Andrew Milani.
And we out of here.